Welcome back to another episode of MBA Mike. On this episode, I'm going to interview Anastasia Ouzouni. So Anastasia, could you tell us about your journey so far till the MBA?
Yes, absolutely. So I studied finance and accounting as a bachelor's degree back when I was in Greece. And then I realized that this is something that I don't want to do for the rest of my life, like being an accountant or do financing. So then I moved on to do a master's in international relations here at the University of Birmingham, which is something I really enjoyed. It was an incredible learning experience. I met some really nice people. And then I started moving into tech and having different tech roles here in the UK. I spent the first couple of years here in the UK working for Deliveroo, where I was mostly responsible for tactical operations and planning of the rider fleets across the Midlands. I moved then to London for a time where I was responsible for restaurant operations through the cloud kitchens that Deliveroo owns. And then I moved to eCommerce. The last 3 years I have been working as a head of customer services and then as a senior project manager at 2 different agencies in the Midlands.
Yeah, that's a way better intro to yourself than I recorded before this. So I'm going to keep that intro in as your own intro to yourself.
Awesome.
You went through a phase of international relations and affairs before you landed with tech. I understand you mentioned you didn't want to become a finance person.
Yes.
You wanted to become a tech person.
Yeah.
What was all about this international relation part of your life?
I actually wanted to be an ambassador for a very long time, and this is something still that I haven't abandoned as a dream. Like, I come from a family, my dad was a mayor for our hometown, so politics and everything that is happening in the public space and public life is something that I'm quite interested in. So international relations, it was a passion of mine for a very long time, and it's still something that I'm very, very interested in. So if I manage to do a PhD later on in life, which is one of my goals, then I would like to focus on international relations.
Yeah.
So I wanted to experience a bit more the cultural differences and how people think with the different backgrounds and what each one of them brings into the table because of their personalities, because of their culture, because of their countries. And that degree helped me understand a lot of how people think and what other aspects have influenced their decisions. So
yeah, and you ultimately moved into e-commerce after going through your Deliveroo career.
Yeah.
What is e-commerce and what are careers like in e-commerce?
There are different aspects of things that you can do in e-commerce. Like, you can take it from a client perspective in the sense that I'm handling the website for a company and I'm the one managing the promotions and everything that's happening with the website. But I was from the other side of things where we were an agency working with different clients, and I was a project manager, so I had to ensure that everything that the client wanted to promote a product, to make changes on the website, got implemented and delivered. So I was helping them implement the different strategies and the different products, like applications, a different product like promotions that they wanted on the website.
Well, these like SME businesses that can...
Yes,
okay.
We had smaller to medium-sized and larger businesses.
Yeah. And what platform would you use to create it? I've used Shopify before, and that's probably all I know about.
We used Magento primarily. So this is a product from Adobe. And we combined it with WordPress for better front-end experience, which is easier to manipulate and add images and videos.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot with how the website runs and how fast it is. And we promoted a lot the PWA version of the combination of WordPress and Magento, what all together like offers a better user experience.
Mm-hmm. When you were approaching these career choices, moving around industries, although you sound like you haven't moved so much, to be honest.
Yeah.
You have been quite committed to your career in tech and e-commerce. What bases have you used to make those decisions to move from industry of education and also industry of work?
For me, the most important aspect is growth and learning and career progression. So every choice that I make is based on these a few pillars. So I'm not really fussed or very focused on any specific area of tech. I want to experience as much as possible. So during the MBA, I'm trying to see what's happening in the metaverse, AI, cybersecurity, because I want to learn. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. So the basic factor that drove all my decisions was, is this going to take me forward? Is this going to make me the best version of myself that I can be? Is this a sensible next step for me in order to progress my career and be better?
Yeah. But when you're sitting in an interview, for instance, you're probably facing people from HR or management that has had, one career over the last 20 years. Yeah. And these are the people you need to convince why, you've shifted around. I can relate to that shift. For me, things get boring, so I have to shift around. You probably have a better response to why you're shifting around. But what is your story? Have you had to build that story, or are you just completely honest around
I think this is. I am always straightforward and like very open and very proud of what I've done in the past. So my answer to this question is, I wanted to grow, I want to experiment, I wanted to learn as much as possible, and these career choices helped me to be where I am right now and actually secure a position within the MBA in Cambridge. So absolutely, like learning and growing and all this experience is what drove all my decisions in the past.
Yeah. When you say secure a position, you mean the MBA, not?
Yes, absolutely.
You haven't. Are you still applying for jobs, or?
Yes, I'm still applying for jobs. I think this is the job of the very basic commonality of all the MBAs at this point.
Yeah, sure. You're applying to tech.
Primarily tech, yes. I'm interested in sticking in tech and exploring more opportunities within tech. Consulting is another interesting option, but again, with an angle of tech and how tech can be applied into consulting and how we can leverage that.
And besides the growth story that you spoke about, when you were shifting around in the industry and educationally, you have had experience to quite a lot of angles that a lot of people don't really end up. You choose accounting, you stay in accounting. What insights have you gathered on that journey that you feel are quite unique to yourself and you wouldn't have had unless you had tried all of these things?
I definitely figured out what kind of leader I don't want to be. Through all these experiences, like I gathered a lot of insights of how I want to manage a team, how I want to be part of the team, what thought leadership and also like managing conflict in a team actually means. So I think this whole experience made me realize that I want to be managing teams. I want to be part of teams. I want to have people around me. I want to communicate with different people, and that not having a very concrete plan of where exactly you want to be doesn't mean that you cannot progress and you cannot grow and then you cannot actually reach the best levels in your career.
I think when you're being interviewed, an interviewer will usually expect you to sell yourself as being a team player.
Yeah.
But what is it about being a team player that has appealed to you or you found interesting?
I am very keen in enabling the people around me to just be the best version of themselves that they can be, to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel like liberated and get all the ideas and all the great stories that they have in their heads out there, and then that can help us deliver the best results. Yeah. And I get a lot of energy from other people. I'm an extrovert, so having all these people around me and getting all these ideas and getting all these great passion and attitude, that's something that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah. So I understand your perspective, and again I relate to exactly what you said. But doesn't that actually mean that you're more suited to a hierarchical structure of being outside of a team in a coaching position, where you're actually bringing out the best in other people? Can that not only be done if you're in a position of respect and you're actually slightly above that group that you're talking about?
I don't think that being a manager means that necessarily you need to be the person with the stick and just bossing around people. So I believe a lot in flat structures, but and in guidance through leadership. Like I get what you're saying, but coaching, yes, but you can do that being a leader as well. You don't and managing teams, like you don't necessarily have to be placed in the position of the manager to do that and have that hierarchical structure. So yeah, I think that being part of the team and a manager specifically enables you to do all that without missing out on.
Yeah. So I personally think I do think there is a difference between being coached by somebody who is an equal and being coached by somebody who you might not respect necessarily, but an organization respects, and therefore they have placed them in a higher position, not just maybe job title wise, but also they're getting paid better, they're respected more and celebrated more. And I think there usually, when it comes to team dynamics, there usually is a difference of respect from that. And you can have a greater impact when you have that, unfortunate for some, fortunate for others, vertical structure. So what are your thoughts about that?
I think being placed in a management position doesn't necessarily mean that you're the right person for the role. Like, I think I have experienced in different parts of my life what a bad manager can actually do in a team, in an organization. The respect aspect, absolutely, but you don't really need to have the title of the manager in your CV or in your role, in front of your role, to drive that respect. Like, I think communication with people around you and clarity and straightforward communication make sure that you're going to receive the respect that you want and you deserve as a human being, as an individual, without necessarily being a manager. So you can definitely coach people, you can definitely help them if you're a manager or if you're an equal. And the respect is always there, I think. It depends on how you portray yourself and how you approach people.
Yeah. I really want to ask you about the examples of bad management, but I don't know if you want to say that on camera. You have the option to opt out.
Yeah, I think for me, definitely having making sure that you have the back of the team and you support your team is an essential part of being a good manager. Like, absolutely, I'm all up for getting a right bollocking if you fuck things up. But at the same time, in front of a client, I believe that a good manager will support the team and make sure that you're always there to support and protect, if you want, the team from a bad client or like a nasty feedback, and then deliver that in a structured and useful way to the rest of the team, so you can help them grow and be better.
Yeah.
Another thing for me, bad management is definitely micromanagement. Like, I have experienced that in different aspects, in lesser or bigger degrees. So that's something definitely that I would like to avoid.
In your opinion, how far should a manager go to defend that team?
Personally, in every aspect, in every possibility that I had, I definitely took any kind of hit that came towards my team and my department. So being a manager not only means that you have to manage and coach people, but also means that you're a bullshit filter. Like, everything that comes to you, you filter it, you take it, and then you push it back to the team in a better and structured way. So I definitely think that it's your team, so you need to support them and protect them. And then translate that nasty feedback that you received in a good way for them to grow. Definitely, like, tell them off if something really bad has happened, and make sure that they understand the severity of their actions and how to be better and how to not repeat the same mistakes in the future. But in front of a client, in front of a higher management, you are the face of the department, you are the face of the team, so definitely protect your team.
And just to clarify, you were managing a group of people in your last job?
Yes. Not in my last job, but in the previous roles that I had.
Yeah, sure. How many people have you managed at this time?
Up to 20 in one of my roles, and like in the other roles I had 6 or 5.
Yeah, 20 direct reports?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you find that? Does that not become your full-time job away from your job then?
Absolutely, but the biggest part of being a leader is like guiding others and solving the problems. And then if you're doing that correctly, then the things that you have to do are being reduced.
Yeah. So I have to ask you, how many other women did you see on your journey through e-commerce?
A fair few. Normally they were on the position of the client side of things, where they were managing the website, so they were the e-commerce manager. Within agencies, again, we have had a fair few, especially in the area of project management or marketing. We didn't have many developers as women, which is a bit sad. But my latest company took everything into the next step where they were trying massively to support women coming back from work, coming back from maternity leave, supporting them during maternity leave, keeping them engaged, helping them with their transition, getting back to work, which I think is really, really important, especially with women that want to have kids and that want to have a family, but at the same time they don't want to live their career. So these steps, I think, they're very, very useful to ensure that good and very people that are passionate about their jobs, but they want a family as well, can actually go have the family and get back to work.
Yeah. And as a woman in tech, did you find particularly based on that ratio that there were any differences observed by being one of the few women in the scenarios where it was like that?
Not really. Like I think it was part of good companies, and they really respected women, and they really respected us as individuals. So I felt very supported and very respected, and also very heard of. Like they were very keen to hear our ideas and our opinions and how they could improve things within the organization, but from a client perspective as well. And in my last role, I had a very, very good leader, a woman leader, that until the point that you experience what having a woman senior manager feels like and is, I didn't really miss it. But when I actually see the difference that this lady made to me as an individual, and how much she enabled me, and how much she valued me, and how much nice feedback and constructive feedback she gave me and helped me grow, you don't really realize how important it is, their presence.